Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and in this video we'll be taking a look at the Gyan Strom Agnes Gibernath Custom. And yes, I decided to go back to my old setup just because the other setup that I was using was a bit hard to for me to move around with, so I decided to go back to this style of reviewing using my webcam again so I can get a top-down view like this, which is much nicer to look at, even though the color might be a bit muted, but you can see the color at the end when I use my proper camera. But yeah, just for the unboxing portion, we're going to use the webcam back again. So yeah, I've got this kit like around 3 weeks ago, and I also just got the time to finally review it. So here is a look at some parts of the box. I'm just gonna close my tabs real quick just so it doesn't reflect on the box. Yeah, just like that. And yeah, here is some of the models and some of the shots from the what do you call it, the Gyan Storm, and it looks really nice. Though I do have my concerns for the backpack again. I think it's just the major flaw of any Seed Freedom line as of right now is that the backpack is heavily color inaccurate. And with the case with the Gelgook last week that we reviewed, it was a bit more inaccurate in some parts of the waist and also the foot. So yeah, anyways, this box is also as big as the Gym Sniper box, or a small master grade box that I think I showed it also on the Gelgook video. Oops, I accidentally dropped my box. I hope you can't hear, the mic doesn't pick that up. But yeah, anyways, the main problem, I think it's going to be the backpack once again, because I can straight up see here that yes, we do not have color separated wing binders, which again I might have to paint, might paint or might not paint. We'll see later. I guess if you guys want updates, check out my Instagram on the link in the description. In the link tree, you can find my Instagram. It's Foxshock Studios, the same as my YouTube handle now. Oh yeah, I don't think I've mentioned it earlier. I changed my handle from Foxshock420 to Foxshock Studios just because it sounds a bit better and it's in line with my Instagram account. So yeah, and here is the sheet of stickers that we get. It's quite bad, but I think it's a bit better than the Gelgook Menace just because it's more of the accent colors. I might put these on just so we can see it, and I might just peel them off again afterwards when I want to paint them. But yeah, we'll take a look at this, and we'll see how. I might just put this in the mobile so just to see how it looks, because the stickers are smaller. It's not like a huge sheet of stickers like last time. So yeah, let's just get this open with real quick, and I might have to sort this out first. And as usual, I don't think I mentioned this last time, but always keep the plastics like this just somewhere and don't throw them away first, just until you're finished building. Just because, if you guys don't know, I already have an experience. I think I've told this in like an older video, maybe a year or two ago, that I said that yeah, I almost lost the part in the old Master Grade Wing Zero Verka just because I threw away one of the parts and had to dig through my trash can just to find that one missing piece. So it's not really that good or ideal if you lose the parts. So yeah, from where I'm living right now, this Gyan is now in stock, like readily available. Though I got this a bit before that it was readily available. Oops, I think I took my panel liner instead of my knife. So let me just get my scissors real quick. So yep, let's just cut through this real quick. If my scissors will cut this. Yeah, I mean, I can see some really nice looking parts, especially the shield. I think the shield's like one of the highlights of this kit. So yeah, let's just take a look at this. Also, we got same polycaps again from just the same PC7 polycaps like the Gelgook Menace. So I'm assuming that this has the same attachment point, especially for the backpack, using this polycap. We'll take a look at that as well later on. So yeah, I'm not gonna sort this real quick, or I actually might sort this. Let's just take a look at anything first, really. So let's just put this around like right here, and I'm just gonna take a look at the manual real quick. So in the manual, it says that you're not gonna use the other beam effect part. I hope the camera can focus right here, but around right here, as you can see, if my light will catch this properly, I should move the light a bit here. So as you can see, we only use 2 polycaps. The same like on the Gelgook Menace, we only use 2 polycaps, and we do not use one of the beam sabers right over here, and the rest of it we're actually going to use off the parts, no duplicates, just like the Gelgook Menace. I think there's one runner with a duplicate piece. I think it's for the chest unit, if I'm not mistaken. So let's start from the A runner. If I could find the A runner, let's just take a look at everything first, because I did not sort this like last time. Let's just take a look at it one by one. So here is the first runner, the A runner, if you can see it. I think it shares a bit of parts. I mean, like, from a glance, it looks like, actually it is the Gelgook Menace's part right here. It's labeled Gelgook Menace here in katakana. If you guys can read katakana, it says Gelgook Menace right there. And yeah, so this is the first shared runner. I think it's missing some piece here. I think there's supposed to be some parts there, but it's omitted out. I think I'm gonna check that after post. I'm gonna check that on the Gelgook Menace runner or the manual. I think there's supposed to be something here, but it's omitted out just because I don't think it's needed for the Gyan. There's probably another runner for that. So that's the A runner. So skipping the B runner, we go directly to the C runner, and this time it's actually labeled as Gyan Storm right up here. But I think just because of the light, you guys can see it. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot to say that instead of having this in the dark red color, we have this in a pale blue color, which I hope the camera will pick up better later on in the review. And we also have this dark blue color, which is also present in the Gelgook Menace, if I'm not mistaken. And the same gray inner frame part right here down the middle, so that's quite nice. In the C runner, we get also that one pale blue color right over here. You also got some white parts here, and also a slightly darker color for, I'm assuming, the shield parts and also some parts of the foot. So that's quite nice. And also we have a darker blue accent color here, which I think in the Gelgook Menace, it's the dark red color, which is quite nice. Next, following the C runner, we get the D1 runner. So D1 runner is just a full plain white color, which looks absolutely nice. Got some parts for the head and also some parts for the legs here. You can see, I can see some really nice panel line details, which is really good, especially in the Gelgook. I don't think I mentioned it in the Gelgook video, but it really panel lines well, and the details actually quite nice. Though I didn't expect much from this, but the panel lining on the Gyan is very nice, and this is also labeled as the Gyan Storm, so that's quite nice. Here we also have the D2 runner. So yeah, this is also just a copy of the D1 runner. Some parts of it are copied here. And next, for the E1 and E2 runner, let's just take a look at the E1. So in the E1, we also have that, this is not E1 actually, this is E2. Let's take a look at E1 first. So E1 is just a normal gray colored, what do you call it? Frame parts. So that's quite nice. It's very nicely molded. It's also labeled as the Gyan Storm, so this is a completely new runner. It's not reused from the Gelgook Menace. Next is the E2 runner, which we also have a whip here, a very long whip with the arm right here, which is quite cool. I want to see how that looks like at the end. We're gonna take a look at it in a spin, so stay tuned for that. And we got some armor parts here and also some foot parts here. I wonder where some of these go actually. I don't know where some of these could go, like these parts. I think it could go at the arm or the legs, so we'll have to look at that. And next we also have the, let's take a look again. We have the F1 runner. So this one is a bit of a darker blue, but I don't think it's the same as the A1 runner blue, as you can see right here. This is a bit more greenish colored, and this one's a bit lighter colored, though it's still a bit darker than the other one. But it's also a bit different from the blue at the C runner right here. So we also have quite a bit of shades of blue. So we got a grand total of 4 shades of blue, which is quite nice. I don't think that's present in the Gelgook, though they have a pink, so technically it is a shade of red. But yeah, it's quite nice that we get a couple of really nice shades of blue, including this one. I think it looks a bit more blue on this camera, but in real life it's a bit more muted and toned down. It's not as saturated as the one in the camera, so that's worth pointing out. And it's also labeled as the Gyan Storm, so that's quite nice. And next we also have the F2 runner, which has some parts of the shield, and I'm assuming some parts of the weapon. I think I'm not too sure actually where this goes. I think this goes to the axe right here. Let's see what it's actually called. I think it's called the File X G7 Beam Axe. So yeah, it's for that beam axe that we get here, the huge beam axe, the main weapon of the Gyan Storm, which is quite nice. And following that, we have the G1 runner, which have some parts of the axe right here, the effect parts of the axe, and also the effect parts of the shield right here, molded really nicely, and also is a new part that we are getting, which is cool. And as for G2, we have the gold accents, which is, I don't think this is that nice because it's the injected style mold. And I don't know if you guys can see it right here. I think the light catches it just enough if you guys can see it. Right here we have like a huge line streaking right through the shield. I'm not sure what caused that. I think it might just be how it's molded. I'm not sure if you're gonna have this problem or not. But I think it's worth pointing out that this is injected gold. But I think it's supposed to be quite easy to modify it. If you guys have a Gundam marker, I think this should be easy to paint. Should be easy enough, but I don't think if you want better results, of course, use an airbrush. But I think it's possible if you want to use the Gundam marker to just color this down. So that's okay. It's just a bummer that there's a huge crack in the middle. I'm not too sure what causes that. But yeah, we'll see how it looks like at the end. I hope it doesn't affect it that much. And next is something that I didn't expect to have here. It's an XA labeled runner. It feels like I'm pretty sure it feels like a wing kit actually. I don't remember. It's been some time since I've built a master kit with an XA label. I think it might be one of the really big kits like the MGEX Unicorn or something, but it's labeled XA1 for some reason. And it has some of the parts for the wings, and XA2 also has the exact same thing, just in there's just some parts of it just like this. Actually, it's just one half of the XA1 runner. It's just a copy for the other biter, so that's quite nice. And last we have the XB runner, which I'm assuming is for some of the thruster parts here at the backpack as well. Also labeled as the Gyan Storm, so there is nothing else that's going to be used besides the Gyan Storm, I'm assuming. But maybe Bandai has other plans for it. But yeah, here is the last beams, what do you call it? The beam effect right here. I'm not too sure where this is used, but we'll check it out later. I'm going to make sure that all of the effect parts are used later on in the spin, just so you guys can see how everything looks. And finally, we also have the polycaps and the huge sticker sheet right here, which I'll show you guys which one I used, and there's quite a lot of these. And yeah, I hope to not use this actually. I just want to paint this, but we'll see if I have the time. But yeah, it's quite a hefty kit. I feel like reviewing an entire master grade here when every time I'm unboxing these really huge Seed Freedom kits, but I really do enjoy it so far. The Gel Menace is really nice. And yeah, this is the next kit that we're going to review. And yeah, as usual, check out the time lapse and stay tuned for the review in the second part. And yeah, enjoy the time lapse, and I'll see you in the review and the spin. Okay, so here is the Gyan Storm fully built and ready as it is right here. I also did some panel lighting here and also put some stickers at the major parts of the backpack, which we'll see with the spin. So yeah, anyways, I really like this kit. I think I prefer this more than the Gel just because of how it's constructed and how fun it is to build. And the overall looks, like the more I look at this Gyan, the more I actually like this. But the major problem of this kit is just the same like any other Seed Freedom kits, which is the backpack. It's very color inaccurate and the stickers look absolutely terrible, so I might actually have to paint this. And yeah, this kit actually comes a lot with a lot of accessories actually, like this huge axe right here. And we also got the whip here, which we'll be taking a look at it in the spin. I'm not sure what this is called. I think it's called the Slayer Whip, if I'm mistaken. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. We got a long ass whip, and then we also have the shortened version of the beam axe here, just to store it at the side skirt. And also we got some parts here for the chest. We got some Gatling guns of some sort here, which we'll take a look at that later in the articulation, I guess, or the accessories part. We got one holding hand for the axe here, or the, I'm not too sure what's called, but the small beam saber right there, which is quite nice. I think it's called the, I don't know how to say it, but I'll put it right here somewhere. That's beam saber. And yeah, we have some effect parts to go with that as well right here. The shorter beam blades, although you only need one, but it's nice to have an extra right here. We also have some effect parts for the axe as well, and we also have the retracted mode for the axe as well, holding these white parts right here. My camera will focus. It's focusing on the Gyan right now, so yeah. There's another option part for the closed version, and we also have the huge effect parts for the shield. We'll take a look at that in a second. So let's just stop the spin for a bit. Move the Gyan out of the way, just like so. And I'm gonna try to take off everything that's attached here for now, just so it's a bit easier for us to take a look at just the mobile suit. So as usual, I'm just gonna take off the arm here. We're gonna take a look at the articulation on the other side of the arm. So that should be fine if my camera would focus first. There we go. So it's all focused again. And yeah, let's just take a look at the mobile suit first. Let's take a look from the head. I think it's a bit more restricted than the Gelgook because I don't think you can do a downwards looking pose here. But as for the body, actually, I think it's constructed similarly, if I'm not mistaken. I have to check this again. I slightly forgot how this was building, how this builds up. And on the topic of the manual real quick, I think, yeah, it does have the same system, but talking about the manual, I think something that I didn't point out during the review is that we have labeled, where is it? I'm trying to find it real quick. So yeah, right here we can see the runners that we need. This camera will focus. Let's just tap it real quick. There you go. So yeah, we also have some labeled runners, which is quite nice. It's reminiscent of the Master Grade kits, which is pretty cool. And I think it's also present in the Gelgook Menace, but I also think I forgot to mention it during that review. So yeah, apologies for that. So yeah, let's just take a look at the mobile suit from the head down to the legs. So yeah, as I mentioned, this was a bit restricted. I don't think you can do much with the head. With the Gelgook, I think I missed on something. There's like another joint that you can pop off to make it a bit more flexible, which is quite nice, but I think I didn't cover it, so apologies for that. But yeah, besides that, I don't think you can do much here because it's just a standard head joint. There's no mechanisms that makes the neck longer, so that's kind of a bummer, but I don't expect much as well from this type of head, so yeah, not expecting much. As for the arms, it has a really good bend right here, and it's very solid, I have to say. It's because most high grades, I don't think you can hold it by the arm and it won't move an inch. Oops, I actually dropped that. Yeah, this is the only part that's a bit fragile here. It's just this arm piece here. It's connected, just very, very barely connected, so yeah, I think you have to pay attention to that as well when building this, just because that part is a bit loose. So yeah, as I was saying, you can hold this on the arm and it won't move at all. This shows how solid this kit overall is, because there is no polycaps at all. And on the note of polycaps, the only polycaps we get is here for the shield right here, which connects to this part, and also at the backpack, just the same like the Gelgook, it also connects for the backpack. So yeah, basically no polycaps in this build, which is really nice. That elbow bend is very good. The shoulders can move up just like so, which is quite nice. We get a good range of motion for the arms as well, not that restricted. We can also have some forward and backward bends. It's just on a standard ball joint, so expect what a ball joint can do. So yeah, that's about it for the arm. As for the wrist, I think it also has the standard range of motion right here. Okay, just do another ball joint. Yeah, just be careful to not pop that off because it's so easy to pop this off. You might actually have to just glue this, to be honest, because it's very loose. I'm not too sure why it's very loose, but yeah, that's about the only loose part about it. So yeah, that's the thing with the arm that I do not like. And as for the body, you actually have a good range of motion, just like the Gelgook. Can have a backward bend a bit right there, downwards, and also side to side a bit there. I think the side to side is a bit more flexible on the Gelgook, but yeah, on the Gyan, I think it also has a similar, what I call it, joint, but yeah, I don't think it's as flexible. And here is the chest piece that opens, just like very reminiscent of the heavy arms. And yeah, we also have these pieces earlier that I showed you, the Gatling guns, which goes in just like so. I'm just gonna put one in here just because it's a bit hard to take it out again. So yeah, it just connects right there, and you can just pop it off just like so if you want to have that posed with the cannons open, the Gatling guns open at the back. I'm not too sure what it's called, so I'm have to refer to the manual again. I don't think it's mentioned anywhere, or actually no, it is mentioned. It's a triple beam barrel rotary beam machine gun, so that's quite nice. And yeah, that's about it for the chest piece. And for the waist piece, I snipped the side skirts as usual, and I mean the front skirts as usual. So yeah, we have freedom of motion there. If you don't snip it, it's gonna move up and down together. So it's quite a simple fix, not that hard. And this is also joined in a ball joint on the side skirt, and we also have a fixed butt skirt right here, which is also the same. I think I'm sure it's the same with the Gelgook Menace. So that's quite nice, and the feet can go up quite high. Just a standard range of motion. It's a bit restricted at the back because of the fixed butt flap, so you have to keep that in mind. The bend on the leg is really good, just only restricted by that thruster down here. So yeah, the leg's very nice. This leg can tilt down quite far, and we also have another standard ball joint here, so expect what a ball joint can do for that downwards part. And as for the backpack, I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did review this on the Gelgoop. I'm sorry guys, but this is quite similar to the Gelgoop Menace's backpack, so let's just take a look at the articulation. You got one range of movement right here, which is quite nice. We also have some swinging action right here, and I think that's about it, to be fair, on this backpack. There's nothing much. Just make sure that when you're rotating this, don't rotate it out too much, it might pop off. And yeah, as for the missile pods here, I don't think you can move it at all. It's just stuck there in place, so that's quite a bummer, but it's fine. I think this is enough. But yeah, here is the major issue of the stickers, and it's the connection piece right here. If you look at it from this angle, I'm sure it doesn't look that bad on camera, but when you're handling this kit, it's actually quite yikes. Actually, I'm just gonna actually paint this because this is absolutely unbearable, and I do not like how this looks whatsoever. And yeah, I think that's worth keeping in mind, because if you don't place any stickers here, everything is just the same one color, which is a bit sad, because at least with the Gelgoop Menace we got some multicolored backpack, which it still looks kind of nice when you're not using any stickers. But I think the Gyan suffers more with the color inaccuracy, because we only have two colors here, which is this dark blue color and also just this light blue color, which is pretty bad because all of the backpack is just a single color and it's not that nice. So I recommend painting this. This is probably a really fun kit to paint. So yeah, that's about it for this thing. And as for this part, the shield part, you can connect the effect parts by just lining these ridges right here with the holes we have down here. So it just goes in like so. I think it doesn't matter where you pop this in, because I think it's a circle, so you can just put it anywhere. And you can put the other effect right here by just connecting it on the rest of the holes that we have, and it just pops in perfectly. And just a bit of a seam right here at the end where it connects. But I think overall it looks really nice. I don't think you can see it anyways, so that's quite nice. You can pose this like so. You can also pose it like this in the promotional image. We'll try pulling off some of the poses on the manual here on the end. And here is the beam. What do you call it? The beam saber. Yeah, the beam saber. I'm gonna butcher the name, but yeah, here is how it looks like. It looks really nice. It looks very knight-esque. It's very cool. And here is the beam rifle. I think this doesn't share the same beam rifle. I think you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's similar to the Luna Maria Gelgoop, but it's just a bit shorter. And I think it's quite nice. I think I prefer this more. Looks quite good, but I think it's missing the white piece here. The scope is supposed to be in white, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that the backpack's also missing quite a bit of colors here. So yeah, I think overall the mobile suit looks better in my opinion than the Gelgoop, but the backpack is overall worse just because there's way less details than the one in the Gelgoop Menace. So yeah, I think that's worth considering. If you do not like this backpack, you're for sure that you're not going to enjoy straight building this. But however, if you're going to paint this, I think it's going to be pretty fun to paint because there's a lot of accent colors, and I think it should be quite easy to paint this by just masking some parts and just priming it. It's quite easy. I think you can hand brush this as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's just a bummer that Bandai just decided to just not give a single care for this backpack, which is a bit sad because I really do like the backpack. The backpack also takes up quite a bit of your time when building this, so I don't know why Bandai did not do anything significant with this, because the color separation on this mobile suit is amazing. Like I have to admit, it's actually really good. Like so the color separations on the foot, we got some different shades of blue, which is very nice. But yeah, the sticker sheet is a bit bad. We also have some leftovers here. I'm not too sure where these goes, but yeah, we also have a lot of red ones. I'm not too sure where this goes either. I only paid attention to the one that I placed on the wings, but I'm not sure where this red I'm not too sure where these goes, but so I have to probably search it up, and I'm probably gonna put it down there somewhere. But I think it might actually be this part. Yeah, I think it's actually like parts of the canisters there on the rocket launchers of the backpack. So yeah, I don't think it's anywhere in the mobile suit, but I'm not too sure about these parts right here, and also this small lens sticker. I'm not too sure where that goes. So yeah, I'm gonna actually just check this again. I'll tell you guys where it goes. It's probably here somewhere. I'm gonna give some time for to show the pictures of where they go. I'll probably have a screenshot of the manual around here somewhere. It's probably displaying right here, and yeah, I think that's about it for this mobile suit. I don't think I have anything else to say. Besides that, this is a pretty rock solid kit. Like, you can shake it around, no problem. It's gonna stay in its pose. It's very strong just because it's a non-polycap build, which is quite nice. The beam rifle is really nice. And also, actually, I think I forgot to retract this one. Let's try to transform this thing. So the axe just collapses like this. You can just pull it off like that. And I think you just plug this in to the collapse state right here. So just do the same thing like earlier, just like so. Then you connect it to the small beam handle right here. I'm not sure how this goes in. Let me just check the manual real quick. I have my manual like right beside me, so just because it's more convenient. Let's just see. Okay, so this end, it goes like this. So actually, something else I have forgot to mention. Right here, if my camera would focus. Yeah, so the ridges here is not fully a circle, it's more like a semicircle, so be careful where you're pointing this at because it might cause to breaking it. So yeah, it's a one-sided hole, so it just connects like that. And then the end of this, you can just pull it off. So this one's a bit hard. I don't know why it's very hard. So let me just try to get this out real quick. There you go. Yeah, this one's a bit tight. I don't know why. I think you just plug this in real quick. I think you just have to pay attention to how this aligns, just so you don't break anything. And yeah, this is the sword version of the beam axe, and it connects to the butt right here, just like so, which is very convenient when you want to pose it with the axe, and it's quite nice. Yeah, I think that's about it. There's nothing else I can comment on this, and we'll just have to take a look at this kit once it's in the spin, just so you guys can see how it looks with the pose. I actually haven't seen how this looks with the pose yet, so yeah, enjoy the spin, I guess. I think that's all for this review. As usual, like if you like this video, dislike if you dislike this video, and subscribe if you want to see more videos on this, because I think the next one might be the narrative Gundam, which I'm honestly quite hyped about. I really love these lines as well, and the narrative is actually like the only master kit we're getting this year. That's somewhat new, so I'm also quite excited for that. And yeah, stay tuned for the narrative Gundam. This has been the review of the Gyan Storm, and yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. Enjoy the spin as usual, and I'll see you on the next video.